Dogecoin came down and hit my first target at .145, the Fibonacci retracement level, and then got a bounce to the upside. In yesterday's video, I was watching this support, watching a trend line like this. We broke that going to the downside, and I was giving you these targets, or I was talking about these targets. The first one, .145, the second one, .139, and the third one, .136.13, the previous bottom, the Fibonacci retracement levels. And if we zoom out, this is where I got those levels from. We had this little run starting at the first, and then we got a little top over here, set up the Fibonacci retracement levels from the bottom to the top, and then that gives me those levels that I like to watch for bounces. And we just got a bounce on that 50% level. Let me go ahead and take off these labels right here and take off the targets, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so like I was saying, I was looking at the 50% level. I really like that 50% level. We came down, got a bounce on it, and I was saying when we broke this one, we're probably going to come back down to this one. Even when we were in this area kind of getting resistance, I was thinking, okay, well, we hit this 38% level. I'm kind of wondering if we're going to come down, touch this one, and then maybe get a bounce to the upside again. So yeah, we broke this one going to the downside, and then what we formed is, it almost looked like a bear flag, but we got consolidation. We were looking at the top and the bottom, or I was, and we broke that going to the upside, and that started that reversal. We came up, let's see, we also had resistance right here and resistance right here. We had a trend line going like this. This gave us a little bit of trouble in this area, but we were ultimately able to break through there. Let's go ahead and delete this one. We don't need that anymore. Let's go ahead and delete this one, and this one it already kind of happened. And then we could drag from the bottom to the top and drag this to the breakout, and we're looking at a target. We pretty much already hit that target. In my opinion, we came up to .15545. The target was, oops, actually we came up to .15502. The target is around .15545. So I don't know, you could kind of argue that we did hit that target already, but I've also been talking about how we kind of could be forming inverse head and shoulder. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one and get rid of this one, because we kind of already hit that target, and we're kind of done with that already. And we had a shoulder, we had a head, and then we had another shoulder that we'd been forming, and I'd been kind of talking about that in this area over here. I was wondering, I mean, even before we came up over here, I think it was in this area here, I was saying, I wonder if we're going to come up, get resistance, come back down, hit that Fibonacci retracement level, and then get a bounce back up to the upside and form an inverse head and shoulders. Go back and watch some of my old videos. I've been talking about this for the last couple days. Okay, so let's go to the 4-hour time frame. We were on the 1-hour time frame. Now we're on the 4-hour time frame. This looks a little more clearly, and this is why I like to look at different time frames, because sometimes the patterns will look a lot more clear. So we have resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here, giving me that nice straight trend line. If we can break this trend line going to the upside, so right now we did pretty much break it, but we have these little wicks up here. So we also, what I want to do is come up, close the candle, get the next candle, and start pushing to the upside with a green candle again. And then, in my opinion, that should be a confirmation. Maybe a third candle would be like the ultimate what is it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sorry, I lost it. But what we would target from this pattern is we would target from the top to the bottom, and then drag this to the breakout, and we'd be looking at a target of approximately .16762. Confirmation. That's what I was trying to get in. So if we close this, the third candle would be the ultimate confirmation. Sorry. Yeah, but we'd be looking at it once we break that going to the upside. It looks like we're testing it right now, which is actually a good sign. I'm glad that we're like up here kind of pushing it. You know what I mean? We're trying to push through it. But yeah, the target for this one would be .16772. And then I also talked about this in my last video too. If we can complete this little move up to here and actually break out, then we can go to the daily time frame, and then we'll go, let's see, pretty much we're doing the exact same thing. We're forming a inverse head and shoulders. We have shoulder, then we have we have a shoulder, then we have a head, and then we have another shoulder if we can break through right here and push up. then we'll be doing the exact same thing. We have resistance, 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 giving me a nice straight trend line on the daily time frame, and then we'll go ahead and drag from the bottom to the top of that pattern, and then we'll drag this to the breakout. We're looking at a target of approximately, let's see, what is that, 19654. And then also, I think if we break that, and then I've also been talking about that 17 level too, though. If we break that level, we could be coming up to this next previous resistance sitting at around 202. And if we use the wicks on this pattern, that also brings us up to 202. So if we drag from the wick, the very, very bottom, and then the very, very top, something like that, and then we drag this to the breakout, which would be the wicks at 17 cents, because we've been having a lot of trouble in that area. We came up, got rejected over here, came up, got rejected over here, rejected over here. I don't know if we'll be able to pass through it in one shot, but maybe. Let's see if we can continue this momentum first and foremost. But in general, like I was saying, if we can break through the 17 cent level, then I think we could get more confident on hitting up that 202, that 202 level. Yeah, so right now, in my opinion, I think I mean, we just got this nice little pump to the upside from right here, from that we came down, hit my target, got bounced to the upside, and now we're testing that resistance again. Let's see, let's go back to that 4-hour time frame. This one is on the 4-hour time frame. I'm watching that pattern on the 4-hour time frame, and what we want to do is close a 4-hour candle above over here. We have, at the time of recording this, we're testing that resistance, but we have 2 hours and 8 minutes to close this candle. So we have 2 hours for us to come up and then close this, end that 2 hours, and then the next 4 hours will take place, and hopefully we'll be in the green, and that'll make it more bullish in general. And then we can start testing this level up here at 16421 approximately, or even 16289, somewhere around there. So yeah, I guess the other thing we could probably do is we have support right here, support right here, support right here. Let's go ahead and draw a trend line. We can do something like this. I don't know. I'm kind of, this is something I could watch. I hadn't been watching this, but technically we can kind of watch this. We have support, we have a trend line going to the upside. If we break this going to the downside, then I would probably be looking at, like in a bearish case scenario, let's say we get rejected right here and it doesn't play out the way we kind of wanted it to, and we start getting rejected. We start breaking this level at 15802 over here, then I would start looking at those Fibonacci retracement levels again, and the previous bottom, probably even more the previous bottom sitting at around 13737, or the wick all the way down to 13604. You could probably even do 136. But like I've been saying, it looks like we're kind of setting up these inverse head and shoulder patterns. We're doing one on the 4-hour time frame and then one on the daily time frame. If we can continue to go up, it kind of just seems like it's developing like that. But we also have this trend line, and it's not impossible for it to go down. So that's why we watch the trend line, because if it breaks the trend line, then we're like, okay, well, maybe this isn't playing out the way we thought. Let's go ahead and hit up the Fibonacci retracement levels, or try to shoot for the previous bottom, something like that, or the previous bottom right here too, which is the Fibonacci retracement level sitting at 14497. Just like last time, it'd probably be 145 limit order, 139 limit order, and then 136 limit order. And then if we want to, if we think it's even going to go lower than this one, then the next one would probably be 120, or 12 cents, I think, somewhere around there. 12 cents would be the next one in the bearish scenario. But I'm thinking that it's going to push the upside, but I'm not sure. I mean, I do, that's why I'm looking at these targets, because I think that we're going to continue the momentum. Technically, until we break this trend line going to the downside, we are in a small uptrend on this small time frame. We do have this resistance right here, and like I'm saying, we have to break that in order for us to continue to move to the upside and start looking at this target at 16780 that we had from this inverse head and shoulders. And yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's looking pretty good. I'll be watching this uptrend, though. If it breaks that, then things could be changing. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to watch the last videos and check out where I've been calling out some of these inverse head and shoulders, check it out right here. If you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.